And that's like the
Surely,
extent
as
of it.
Australia, as a nation,
Yeah,
we could pull that
we
together.
could pull that
a
together.
pub? Yeah.
A pub,
We
exactly.
could.
But welcome back to No Bad Seats, the Regent Cinemas podcast with myself, Luke, and
Sam.
we are back. It's been a couple of weeks again. I mean, I feel like we had a break. We came back, we did one episode. We've had a break again. I don't feel like I've had a break.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been...
I've been going and going and going.
You have.
I attended the Australian International Movie Convention last week, where I got up to date on a lot of 2026 and how the lineup's looking for 2026, and I must say it's very exciting.
From everything that you were allowed to tell me,
Yes.
very, very exciting.
Yes. One thing that's really exciting is that going into the convention, you sort of get an idea of, or, you're someone like me, and I like to do my research, and I tend to be on top of things, but I see a lot of stuff, and see lots of lineup stuff and what's coming out and what's been announced and all of that sort of stuff. And even just like looking at, it wasn't until I sort of saw it all together that I was like, oh, not only is 2026 stacked, but I could like pick 5 to 7 movies off the lineup that I would already say, oh, that's $1 billion movie. That's $1 billion movie.
Okay, wow.
So like looking at that compared to this year where there's been $2 billion movies, I think. Like, what was it?
It hasn't been a huge box office year.
No. Lilo and Stitch, and there was one other $1 billion movie, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Or was there not?
No, I think there was one. I just can't remember what it was.
Because Minecraft hit like 940. Then we had a run of like Jurassic World hit 7.
It was pretty high.
780 or something like that. And then you had your F1s, your Supermans, and even I think How to Train Your Dragon, all in the 600s. So not a lot of like top tier, high carrying stuff. However, the year is going to finish out strong because we're going to have Wicked, which could easily hit $1 billion. The first one did not, but the second one, I think,
it's sort of built on that.
I reckon that Wicked Part 1 has an audience now. I'm speaking to a lot of men who were not interested in seeing it in the cinema, who have since seen it and are saying to me like, oh, I'm so keen to come see the second one. So, which is really nice because, as a musical fan, I quite liked the first one and I'm very excited for the second one. And it's nice to see that, there's a lot of hype.
My partner is very excited.
Yeah.
She loved the first one. I fell asleep, not because I was disinterested.
It's nearly 3 hours long.
Yeah, I wasn't super interested. I have kids. It was 9 o'clock at night, and I fell asleep. She loved it. She's going to be very mad at me if I get to see it before her, because she'll be, as she said to me the other week, she's like, if you see that and give it such good reviews, she'll be so annoyed at you.
I think we need to bring her along to the opening night premiere, and I'm just going to point that out here on the podcast. Tickets on sale now. RMAX Lounge, opening night premiere. We're going to have a bunch of fun stuff, prizes to give away and things like that. And not only that, but Sam's wife is going to be there, so that's
and I might be there,
and he may.
I might get kicked out.
He may. So we're gonna do that. You are now tasked with the homework of watching the first one and
need to watch the rest of it,
and finishing it prior. There's another one. We've got Wicked Part 1 re-release back in cinemas. So if you want to see it that way on the big screen, put your phone away. Maybe you'll be more locked in then.
Could be,
But so we're doing that. So that's really cool. But and then following straight after that, Avatar comes out nearly a month later. So
very exciting.
November, December for 2025 is probably going to be your $2 billion movies. Avatar.
Does Avatar crack it? Did Way of Water crack 1 billion?
Way of Water hit 2.3 billion.
I remember it being big, but it's like
this is the interesting point, right? Where it's like Way of Water was this one where everyone's like a bit like, oh, I'm a bit wary because can it do it again? Can it do the same thing? And now it's like the 3rd highest grossing film or 2nd highest grossing film of all time.
It came out and it was better than the first.
Yeah.
Story-wise, it was a better story than the first film.
And not on additionally, everything that I've heard suggests that Fire and Ash is again an escalation, again even better story, and a better film. And everything that I'm hearing suggests that. But I'm also like, do we want to like put our hands up and rely on a $2 billion film? Because that's significant. particularly following the wake of Wicked. Now, granted, it's coming out just before Christmas, the exact same place that Way of Water did, and it's going to carry. Like, I'm sure Fire and Ash is still going to be showing in cinemas in February,
Yeah.
which is always awesome to see. You know, it's 2 months in cinemas these days is
Yeah.
a huge amount of time. But the fact that that's the case, and I also think like Disney is so good at supporting. Of all the studios, Disney's the one that's very good at supporting the theatrical experience.
Yeah.
And like when you got someone like James Cameron who's going to argue it regardless, but they
How do you say no to James Cameron about
exactly,
the theatrical
especially
experience?
when like you've got here's the top 4 highest grossing films of all time: Titanic, Avatar 2.
He has like
and
a guaranteed
Endgame.
yes for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not allowed to say no to him because he just goes,
Exactly. It's, you know, proven.
yeah.
So Avatar should come in quite strong, which is really exciting because, you know, we always have fun. I know last time we changed all the lighting in the cinema to be blue, so you'd walk in, like just things like that, which we're probably going to look at doing again. Maybe do some Fire and Ash, do a little different stuff. So that's cool. And that's following on from Wicked, which is everything's going to be green and pink and exciting. And I mean, we've already set up our Christmas tree in the foyer.
Yep.
We've got 2 separate trees. One of them's the green tree
Christmas
with the
tree
pink.
in the foyer. It's like first week of November.
Yeah, man.
We're a little bit early here.
Start promo for Christmas. You got to get your gifts in early. We're about to launch our Christmas campaign, which is all about getting your gifts early. So that's pretty exciting. But I mean, gold class gift packs are available. And yeah, the perfect gift. There's so much coming out in 2026.
So if I was going to purchase one of these gift packs for my partner, what have we got in store for like that after Christmas period where, you know, is most likely we're like, hey, we've got a gift voucher, let's use it.
So if you're looking at getting a gold class gift pack for your wife or for your partner, female, there is actually a lot coming out in 2026 that is sort of female driven. Now, obviously coming off the back of Wicked, Wicked's going to be rolling over. Maybe she's somebody who wants to hang out and wait until after Christmas because you've got too much going on pre-Christmas, but Wicked's probably still going to be available. Additionally, one that is really exciting is The Housemaid, which is Amanda Seyfried and Brendan Skellner.
Yeah,
and Sydney Sweeney. Super exciting, based on a book. People are really excited about it. Everything that I've heard from so many women in my life who have read this book, the hype is huge, which is great.
I've heard a lot of the trailer doesn't give away what you think it gives away.
I'm
like, oh, okay.
Exactly. So, you know, that's really exciting. So Housemaid's there, Wicked's there. We have Song Sung Blue on New Year's Day as well, which is this new Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson film. It's like a musical drama romance. He plays a Neil Diamond impersonator, and Kate Hudson is a Patsy Cline impersonator. It's all based on a true story where they meet, end up singing together, starting this duo, and then it sort of gets a bit of traction, and then they get invited to open up for Pearl Jam. Like it's
nice.
It's crazy. So they end up getting a lot of buzz, and the story is really cool. And it's just one that, you know, Song Sung Blue is going to be one I think is going to surprise a lot of people. It's just really, really got a lot of fun stuff behind it. And not only that, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
And like, all this stuff is like, that's to New Year's Day. So there's a week in between that, you know. But additionally, we've got like reminders of him, which is another Colleen Hoover in March. Wuthering Heights is the big one with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi in Valentine's Day. That's the big Valentine's Day one. And I know they're putting a heat behind that. That's really female-led, female-directed. It's Emerald Fennell who did Saltburn. And they've gone for that real like gothic aesthetic, but it's really leaning on the Margot Robbie side of things and that element. So, you know, I know I've seen an interview with her talking about how she's never seen a version of the film that gave her the same feeling that she got reading the book.
Yeah.
So that's where they're really leaning on.
Okay.
And then one I'm really excited about for the end of January is this film called Audition, starring Teresa Palmer.
Oh yeah.
And Joe Dempsey. I've seen him in something, but I couldn't remember the name. He's an Irish bloke.
Okay.
But the idea is she's a mathematician who's got like a bit of OCD about her numbers and that sort of thing. And yeah, the way that it ties into this sort of quirky, weird romance looks really fun too. So that's one that I'm.
That's an Australian production.
Yeah, and it's an Australian production,
Cool.
which, I found out something that really bothered me.
Yeah.
Australians only see, like the Australian box office is 2% of the market.
Yeah, wow.
In Australia, Australians box office as a total, 2%.
That's sad.
Compare that to the current European cities.
Yeah.
And this is one thing we had a discussion, and there was comparing that to European countries at the moment, and they're looking at anywhere between 15%
Of seeing our movies.
of seeing their movies.
Of their movies, okay.
And seeing 35%. So it means, France, 35% of the box office is French films.
Yeah, okay.
Now I don't know whether it was France specifically that had such a high number, but in the whole of Europe, that was massive.
Yeah.
So then looking at Australia being 2%, it's really sad. It's really sad to see. So I can say that there's a couple of Australian films coming out that are really exciting, but Addition is one that I think is really quite a quirky concept and a fun concept, and I really hope that people get behind it and support it when it comes out towards the end of January. Because we get end of January, there's not often a lot coming out.
It's usually that.
It's going into February.
It's that Hollywood dumping ground where all the Hollywood movies start to be the real hey, we threw together an idea in 5 minutes and we made a movie about it.
Exactly.
And usually they're not great. So
whereas now we've got some strong, and it's based on a book as well. So I know that the production team are excited about Addition, and then you've got that, and then a couple of weeks later you've got Wuthering Heights. So February, January, February, there's a few things in there where it could be that female-led market, which is really nice to see.
I think with the Australian cinema, there's this sort of stigma around it that Australian movies are not that great.
Yeah, or
unfortunately.
But then you get the occasional one that everyone's just like, this is an iconic film.
Yes, exactly. But I think it's much stronger than people realize.
Oh, yeah.
And I think people are still holding that stigma of it's 90% bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. There's a lot of great movies.
Well, I mean, even now, Kangaroo has just been in this year, and people loved it.
Yeah.
Kangaroo has had a wonderful reception for a nice family film. Great.
And the thing is we, as a nation, we have a lot of big stars in Hollywood that are happy to come home and make movies, and they do.
Yep.
We had Eric Bana doing the Dry movies, and they were great.
Yep.
I quite enjoyed those. They were great mystery sort of thrillers.
Absolutely.
And then you've got Margot, who quite often will do these smaller films as well.
Yep.
People like Teresa Palmer, probably not the most household name, but
no.
great actress.
But
has done some big roles as well. So I think it's an exciting outlook going forward. I think there is a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I sort of wonder whether there's an element of just us as a nation. It's a bit of tall poppy syndrome where it's
100%, yes.
While you're local and making local films, you're seen as successful, so we don't want to support that because there's that tall poppy element. But the moment you cross into Hollywood and then you're representing us, everyone it totally changes. Yeah, it's just like
I once passed Margot Robbie in the shops once.
Exactly, it's a whole different thing where it's like, oh, okay, no, now you're not, marketing to us, you're representing us marketing elsewhere, and then there's a whole perception change. So I mean, how do we change the whole cultural bias that we have? But it's something that I think in terms of Australian cinema, you're right, there's a lot of good stuff, and we need to do more to support it. And I think, a good example is, and I don't think this is exactly maybe, it is Australian cinema. The rest of the cast is Australian. They've got David Dastmalchian in the lead, but Late Night with the Devil was hugely received last year.
Yeah, great movie.
And it was filmed at Dockland Studios, and it's a entirely Australian production, Australian cast, aside from David Dastmalchian in the lead. I think the difference maybe is that is an Australian cast doing American, and it appeals to that American audience. But like when you look at it and go, Australian stories told by Australians, that's when it maybe makes it harder to market elsewhere.
And I think one thing that I would say that Australian cinema does a lot of is there's this big push always to tell stories of something that has happened or someone's story from Australia or whatever like that. And that is great by all means, but I think a lot of the time people are going to the movies to escape. They're going to the movies to see the blockbuster.
It's not serious.
Yeah, it's not serious. It's a fantasy world. It's something like that. So I think with more of a push towards that type of thing, like look at Mad Max. You know, that is not about Australia. It's about the wasteland.
Yeah.
Set in Australia.
But it's the iconic Australian franchise for sure.
Exactly right. And it does numbers. It pulls people in because it's not quite, hey, we're Australia. It doesn't pull the numbers in that it should a lot of the time. I saw that look. But yes.
Yep. Let me wipe the tears away from my eyes once again. I've said it before on this podcast. I said it last week to people and I will say it again now. I will never forgive the world for letting Furiosa flop and ruining the Mad Max franchise. But hey, you know, that's just me. That's just me. Especially when it is such an iconic Australian piece and we don't have a lot of these major... But you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time.
Bring on the new...
But I also think even like low-key stuff, like you're right. And maybe doing more stuff like, I mean, a perfect example is like you want to go like full Irish and go Banshees of Inisherin. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I need to still get to it, but I heard nothing but good things.
It's great, but it's really low-key. There's not a whole lot going on for the whole film, but it's engaging as hell.
Yeah.
And it's set in 1920s Ireland.
Yeah.
And you don't need much. There's a goat involved. There's a sheep involved. There's a pub involved.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 houses. And that's like
surely as Australia, as a nation, we could pull that together.
We could pull that together.
Pub? Yeah.
A pub, exactly. But that sort of thing, you know, I think we could, there's definitely those elements that can play into it. But I also think, you know, we say this and we say about how we want escapism and we want to get away from all this. But as a nation, we also love horror. And Wolf Creek is one of our most iconic franchises as well. So you look at that and go, that's technically based on reality. And yeah, I mean, Wolf Creek 3 is on the way too. So that's cool.
Interesting. Is that next year as well?
Yeah, that's the next year.
I'm in.
We had, what's his name?
John Jarratt?
John Jarratt. We had John Jarratt here promoting his film last year.
Yeah.
And when speaking to him, he was telling us all, he's filming Wolf Creek 3. He's filming Wolf Creek 3, maybe even beyond.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think it's one of those franchises that sort of struck a few different chords of it. Just being a decent horror movie.
Yeah.
Probably scaring the hell out of a lot of tourists. So people were like, oh, this is a scary place to go now. I mean, someone needs to make a Drop Bear movie. Come on.
Drop Bear, the movie, Spiders. Like, I think the people who are already like, it's a scary place to go, were already thinking that because of the animals. Like, I mean, what is it? 7 out of the top 10 deadliest spiders are Australian spiders.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent.
But then, like, they also struck the chord of John Jarratt. Was it like Better Homes and Gardens or something he was on?
I'm pretty sure he was on Play School.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mild-mannered John Jarratt, like calming person that you would usually see on TV. Let's make him a killer.
Yes.
Flip the script. It works.
That's right. That's exactly it. So yeah, I think, as I said, to get back to your original question, say you're looking to buy a gold class gift for your wife. You've got The Housemaid coming out. You've got Wuthering Heights coming out. You've got Song Sung Blue, which is going to be phenomenal. You've got Addition, and then Wicked's there. You've got Reminders of You. There is a whole heap, and that's just between like Boxing Day and March. There's so many movies that are targeted at female audiences in that period, which is super exciting.
Okay. And then, so one of the other people I would usually buy something like that for is like my parents. What have we got for the... I won't say the oldies, but for...
Yeah. Do they listen to the podcast?
I'm not sure.
They stopped now.
They better be.
They stopped when you referred to them as the oldies.
Yes, probably.
Well,
Straight apologize, everybody.
straight off the bat, the one film that I'm really pushing, same with the female audience, but the one that I'm really pushing to my parents, and I've just been saying, guys, you got to come in and see this when it comes out, is Song Sung Blue. Neil Diamond. It's the Neil Diamond sort of audience, you know, Sweet Caroline and all these songs, and there's a whole thing with that where like he gets
Audience
pissed off
participation of
everyone.
ba, ba, ba.
Well, the whole thing in it is that he gets pissed off that everyone wants Sweet Caroline because he's like, Neil Diamond has so many more songs than that, and he doesn't ever want to do it. But everyone's like, you've got to play Sweet Caroline. I'm like, of course.
How can you not?
But that's the sort of crowd that you know, that's marketed towards. It's just like really, really cool. That's the first thing that comes to my head. I mean, again, you've got
The older generations love Hugh Jackman probably more than the younger generations as well.
Jackman, I think, had 3 or 4 films that he's been filming that are out either next year or 2027.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. He's getting back into work because he's had a bit of a hiatus.
Yeah.
Like it's been a couple of years maybe a year or two at least. I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine was
probably
the last thing
yeah.
I think I saw him in.
So you got that Song Sung Blue, and then I mean, off the top of my head, nothing is really, really jumping out at me specifically for that audience. But what tends to happen with these films is that they're like lower key films that then just sort of like pop up and you go, hold on a moment, I've known about that. Christie looks like one that sort of like The Smashing Machine, but it's again, it's a boxer, Christy McMahon. So like, I think that was her name, Christy McMahon. Based on a true story, Sydney Sweeney as well. That's
Sydney
another
Sweeney's
one.
smashing it at the moment.
Exactly.
And I think one of the coolest things about Sydney Sweeney as an actress is that she's not taking on the typical roles.
Not every time.
Yeah,
you know, she's
trying
trying
to
to
do a
do.
couple of typical roles in there, but she's definitely like branching out, and that's always good to see. I think we spoke about it once before. Like, after seeing her and Glenn Powell in Anyone But You, they both kind of went and did not.
They
what
could
you'd
have just
expect
got
them to.
stuck into romances, but then you're like,
Stuck in
he's the
romances
Running
or
Man,
stuck in even
he's
blockbusters.
Twisters,
Yeah.
he's
I mean, they're all blockbusters.
and then she's done the priest, the pregnant nun horror movie
I didn't even
where
watch
she was
that.
pregnant with.
I heard it was good though.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
She's done a lot though. I feel, and she did. You know, she had a lot of hits, string of hits,
Yeah.
a web of hits even.
Oh, not Madam Web.
We had the Immaculate was the
Oh yes, yep.
the movie she was in. It was Immaculate, Madam Web, and Anyone But You were all in at the same time, and it was just like 3 Sydney Sweeney movies all on the big screen all at once.
Yeah,
And there you
right.
go. And all hitting completely different audiences.
Yeah, but Christie looks great. It is called Just Christie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know,
And that's Roadshow's big one.
Yeah, it looks great, and she's had a bit of a like transformative process with it. And everything.
Another one that could be quite interesting, and again, sort of this is a cross-market one, but there's one coming out called Hamnet.
Ah, yes,
which
I saw
is
this.
Paul Mescal, Jesse Buckley, and it's
Is it the tale of?
It's the tale of William Shakespeare writing Hamlet, and having to change the names, and the fact that it's about him, and all of that sort of stuff. So that looks really, really good too. I think you'll have some like older films. There's one coming out that I'm going to point out here. I want you to look up this trailer. It's called,
if you can remember the name,
Glen Rothen. Brian Cox from Succession, Logan Roy.
Yeah.
Written, directed, starring.
Oh.
Alan Cumming owns Brian Cox and Alan Cumming are brothers. Their family owns a Irish whiskey distillery.
Yep.
And Brian Cox wants to get rid of it, and Alan Cumming doesn't want it. And he's like, well, if you're not going to take it, then I'm going to sell it.
Okay.
But it's become this integral part of the town, and the town are keen, don't want him to sell it because it's been the family for generations and all that sort of thing. Looks really, really good. Brothers reconnecting, that sort of thing after so many years and all of that. Another one, Jimper, Australian written. starring the director's child.
Yep.
And it's about and Olivia Colman plays. It's basically the story of the director's life,
Yeah.
but Olivia Colman plays the daughter, or Olivia Colman plays the main character, and then it's about connecting with her dad, who, when she'd had a baby, said, "Grandpa," and he said, "No, that makes me seem too old. I'll be Jimpa."
Okay.
So Jimpa, and it's about the connection, but he was
It already sounds heartwarming.
yeah, and about the connection there, but then he had left her mother, come out, and she had to sort of accept that, but
Yep.
then it's about growing up, and yeah, like it just looks, again, Australian story based out of Adelaide initially, looks like it's fantastic, yeah.
Interesting.
And then a really sweet one, Rental Family with Brendan
Yes.
Fraser.
Heard lots of good things about that as well. I saw it
Yeah,
recently.
Rental Family with Brendan Fraser looks great. It's very heartwarming story about
It's
an
an
American.
adaptation of a foreign movie, is it? Am I correct on that?
I don't know.
I think I read that somewhere that there's like it might be like a. I'm not
I think
sure
it's
which
an
country.
adaptation of. I don't know if it's an adaptation of a movie or it's just telling the story of a foreign concept, which is the Rental
Potentially,
Family.
yeah. I thought I'd read somewhere that it was like already a foreign language film that they're like
Yeah, okay.
re-adapting. I could be wrong on that though.
Could definitely be the case, but Rental Family is Brendan Fraser. It's his first role since The Whale. He's an American actor who has been working in Japan for years, but hasn't really ever gotten that far. Gets approached by an agency who needs a token white guy for their rental family business. So then people are hiring him to be best friends or brothers or, fiancés and fathers and all this sort of thing. And it's the way that he plays a role in all of these people's lives is then also healing him for what he's gone through and all that sort of thing. It looks really sweet. Brendan Fraser is a win in general,
Always.
I think.
We need more Brendan Fraser again. Like,
Actually, did you hear the news that apparently they're rebooting the Mummy franchise and he might be coming back?
I've heard that they've been trying to for
Yeah.
a while.
Mm.
I mean, I'm all yes, everything yes.
Bring him back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
That's right. I mean, he's came back.
I would
won an
rather
Oscar.
see the Mummy franchise revived with an older Brendan Fraser still doing, and it's like catching up with
Still
him later
Mummy.
in life. Yeah. Catching up with him later in life, still doing it, than I would a reboot with a fresh young talent to just kind of rehash the same stories before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather. I think that would be more interesting to give us Brendan Fraser in the role again. Sort of.
I'm torn on that because I do want to see Brendan Fraser in the role, but I don't necessarily think that like rebooting the franchise or rebooting any sort of franchise when you got that, it's like, could you redo Indiana Jones and they've gone and done Dial of Destiny and it wasn't very successful and then that sort of thing, and you go, okay, well that's probably killed the franchise. But could you do it? Let's get Eldon Ehrenreich back, and he can be young Han Solo. I mean, young Indy. But there's that. I think that eventually we need to be willing to accept reboot status, but at the moment, Brendan Fraser is still perfectly capable.
Yeah, I want
give it back to him.
When you said the first role since The Whale, I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
The Whale was a while ago,
and he won an Oscar for it.
Yeah,
2022.
That's disappointing that this is his first.
Yeah.
I mean,
in his defense, he did go and film an entire movie that then went into post-production and then got scrapped by Warner Brothers for a tax write-off because he was the villain of Batgirl.
Oh, that's right.
I would have very much liked to see Brendan Fraser's Firefly.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I think also to his credit, he is not wanting to do everything.
No, exactly. He doesn't need to at this point.
No, exactly right. And I think he's quite happy just taking on the roles that he wants to take on, like Rental Family, which looks great so far. So
definitely.
Bring on more.
So while we're talking on franchises that are sort of in somewhat of a reboot phase, we saw Predator Badlands.
We did.
Dan Trachtenberg, who did Prey, and initially off the bat, Prey was a Disney Plus movie. I don't think it was initially supposed to be a straight to streaming, but because of COVID and all of that,
it was like
landed on there.
2021 maybe, or
something like that. But what were your thoughts on Prey?
I loved Prey. I loved that it was a fresh take on
Mm-hmm.
Predator. It wasn't set in that sort of super futuristic. We didn't
Yeah.
have all of these futuristic. It was like bare bones,
Yeah.
literally.
Literally bare bones. There were bare bones.
There was lots of bare bones. It hit the gore. It hit the action.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of
I
fun.
can still picture the poster with her with the blood.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And I think just like the tribe aspect of it all, it was just great. I think it really hit the nail on the head. It was
Amber Mid Thunder was great too.
Yes, 100%. It was unfortunate that it went straight to streaming because I think it would have played really well on the big screen. But it was, I remember seeing that it was coming out, seeing the trailer and thinking, this looks great. I can't wait to see this. Then seeing, hey, it's out in 2 weeks or something, like on Disney Plus, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna say no. I'm very excited.
There's this weird era of like, there's the occasional film like that over the last few years where it was like, no, this was shot for theatrical, and you can tell it wasn't shot for streaming.
Yeah.
And
they kind of drop it, and I think they haven't believed in it as much as they should have.
Either that, or it was just that era where they're like, we don't have the space or whatever it is.
I want to say that I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I feel like it was around that time where like maybe we'd had Tenet, and Tenet was the first big one coming back from the COVID sort of big break.
Tenet supremacy, still a shame that Tenet did what Tenet did, but Tenet rules.
It didn't
go watch Tenet again.
It didn't do as well as it should.
No, not for a Nolan film, but also at the same time, it was like, post-COVID. Like,
it was like the first one back.
I mean, I was in Victoria and we were still locked down, and I faked a meeting so that I could cross the border to come and watch Tenet at the cinema.
Oh, the police are here.
Yeah, whoop, whoop. And yeah, so that's the sort of vibe that Tenet came out to, but the whole era of movies was just very odd. So but Prey came out, it was received very well, and here we are, Predator Badlands. Now, I had originally heard that he wanted to continue like Prey 2 and bring Amber Mid Thunder back, and it didn't work out that way exactly. But I will say, Predator Badlands was sort of really my vibe. I liked Prey a lot. I've only seen Predator 1. I'm not super familiar, like I've seen all the Alien films couple of times, but looking at Predator Badlands, and they've sort of flipped everything on its head, and it's like, okay, now the protagonist is the Predator who's been outcast from the clan, and here they are now. All right, he's going hunting for...
He becomes the hunted, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to... Look, the idea is he's the outcast. He's put himself up for hunting the hardest possible creature that he can hunt because it's the one that his father fears.
He's going to bring that back.
He's going to bring that back and then prove that he's not, in fact, the runt, the weakest. He's not the outlast, the outcast, rather.
Which is a fair... I guess it's not a far cry from the original. But like you said, you've kind of just flipped it on its head and done it backwards in a way. I've seen the original. I want to say I've maybe seen Predator 2. Can't really remember it. I've seen the Alien vs. Predator movies way back when. Fun, bad, but fun. I remember seeing Predators, which was, I really enjoyed that. That was Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, right. When was that?
I want to say mid-2000s.
Yeah, right. I was looking it up before. There was a Predator film in 2018 that I didn't see, apparently. The Predators?
That was Shane Black, who starred in the first Predator.
Yeah, right.
And made The Predators or The Predator? One of those. I can't remember if it was the S or not. And it was, from memory, based on Earth. And kind of, it had an interesting premise. It was more like neighborhood style Predator of like, he came to this like, I can't remember if it was a small town or just a town, and there was like kids involved of like running from the Predator and things like that. I remember liking aspects of it. I remember thinking it was going to be a lot better than it was, being Shane Black, who has done some great movies. Some really great movies Shane Black has done. That wasn't one of his best, but still fun time.
Yep,
Watching Predator kill stuff was always good fun.
that's right. And we
and
get
then-
plenty of that in this film.
Yeah, and then you had Prey,
Yep.
great, and onto this one, which is great.
Well, one thing off the bat that I really liked was, you dropped onto this planet. The planet is supposed to be death, essentially. There's this unkillable creature that he's going to hunt down and kill, and that's going to be the whole thing. But then, progressively, as you're going, he lands, and the vines are trying to kill him, and he's walking through, and there's these
Oh, they're like
the
flower
flowers
that just like
the flowers
shoot
that
spear
shoot little needles of paralysis needles.
Yeah,
And these little creatures that shoot acid and all of these things like
blade
it all,
grass was really
yep,
cool.
razor glass,
That
or
was cool.
razor grass. All of these like little things that just make everything slightly more difficult. And I loved the character of Deck and the way that, his whole thing was just like, yeah, okay, so this is going to kill me, this is going to kill me. Yeah, no worries. His whole thing is just like, no, you give up too easily. We're going to go ahead.
We're gonna find a way around
I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do it. And then he just like goes for it. And I'm like, he's flipping on trees. He's cutting trees down to cross things. And he's doing all this stuff. It was so much fun. I thought he was a really fun character. And the way he was like, because I think this is something that like we got a lot of culture and, conversation out of the Predator, out of Deck.
There's a lot of like world building in there as well.
Exactly.
And that's that kind of like off-screen world building where we're not going to show you all of this stuff, but it's mentioned.
Explain how the culture works.
Lets your
and why
imagination sort of go wild with
Yeah.
like, what are they usually doing? Like how big is this? How much does it expand out? Which is always great for a movie. It sort of gives you more to chew on in there. And I think that it did a fantastic job of that.
And it sort of plays into, I mean, you could look at this and then layer these elements over the other films and sort of get a better understanding of what the clan culture is like with the Predators.
Yeah,
regardless, across all films. But the fact that we got to see this a bit more, super fun. But you know what the real surprising thing? Elle Fanning.
Yeah, great.
So good, right? I mean, a scene in the trailer, you get that sort of vibe. She plays a Weyland-Yutani synth, which is obviously a tie into the Alien franchise. Now, my understanding is that in the Alien franchise, Predator doesn't exist, but in the Predator franchise, Alien exists. So it's sort of like canon, one-sided canon. So Weyland-Yutani, the Alien franchise, sort of comes into this, which is great because I'm pretty sure that Dan Trachtenberg would like to do like team up with the director of Alien Romulus and
Fede Alvarez,
tie in there, or there's been discussion or something along those lines, and I feel like having Weyland-Yutani come into it,
let's do Alien versus Predator, but good.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's fun, that's exciting. So, but Elle Fanning's robot was great. The personality was hilarious. She added a lot to it. What's that?
Robots.
Yeah, exactly.
Because another movie where someone has played twins.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Not necessarily twins, but two characters essentially the same. And there's not much of them on screen together like a lot of the other movies we've seen this year that have had the twin characters.
Let's talk twins, like Mickey 17, Monkey, Sinners, this. It's got to be something
Arnold
else.
Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. The iconic.
The
twins.
iconic, the gold standard of twins.
But yeah, I thought Elle Fanning did an amazing job with both of her characters. But additionally, like, I just thought the way that they structured it, she was sort of comic relief, but it didn't feel like it took away from
the stakes and
the
everything.
stakes or the seriousness. Like, I feel like there's some movies where you put comic relief in and the comic relief just becomes the whole thing and it sucks all the seriousness out of things.
Yep.
And it's always put in as like a button to, it's like, here's a serious moment, but we can't have you thinking about that too much. So let's put a button in here. And then it's just like anything that, like, because I don't need a movie to take itself seriously.
Yeah.
But I need the serious, like it can be serious without taking itself seriously. And I think this film did a really good job of that because Elle Fanning's Thea was hilarious.
Yeah.
She was so funny, but it just was just so natural from her character.
I have a bit of a wild take on it.
Okay.
It reminds me of Shrek in a sense of it's not
It's
by any
literally Shrek. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see it. I see it.
means- even to the point where
Predator is Shrek.
they're sat
Thea
on,
is
on the
Donkey.
cliff edge having a fire,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I was like, why have I seen this scene before?
Yeah.
Like,
It was.
oh, it's Shrek.
It was sort of like that moment. You know, they're sat on the having a fire, and he's just like,
and they're going to slay
"What
the
about
dragon.
parfait? Yeah. What about parfait? You like parfait?"
And it's nowhere, obviously, like we just said,
But it
the
is
comedy
very
doesn't
like that.
take
It's
away
just
that.
like a lot of. She's just very inquisitive,
Yes.
asking a lot of questions. Like her synthetic as a researcher, asking a lot of questions, talking a lot, and it just plays into the
But
fun.
it asks the questions we're all asking.
Yeah,
Like one of
exactly.
the comical ones was, I think, is it your front teeth or your back teeth that you use to chew?
Yeah.
And
Do
I
you
was
use your
like,
fangs or your teeth?
yeah, I was like,
Um,
yeah, we all want to
Yeah,
know.
exactly. And just like, oh, how old are you? Like, what's the
Yeah.
like, just that sort of thing. Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. The way that the whole story pieced together, fantastic. The movie's an hour 45. It was
Yeah,
like that.
so quick.
Visuals were great. Honestly, like, I do hope we get more, and it sort of feels like we're going to get more. But I hope Disney are just like, yeah, just stick with the franchise, Dan.
I mean, the
Oh,
fact that we
DT.
got this after Prey being a streaming release gives me faith that they're like, okay,
Yeah.
we see something
But I
here.
feel like the hard thing is, it's like streaming. You can look at the streaming numbers and do well. Predator Badlands tanks at the box office, and I don't necessarily think it will. I think it's going to hit good word of mouth. I've seen a lot of reviews where people are like, "Wow, I wasn't expecting this," and I think that that's just general consensus. I don't know why that's general consensus because again, Prey ruled. So why this feeling has been like, Predator Badlands is maybe only going to be okay, and now everyone's walking out of it going, "No, this rules. This movie rules."
Like Dan Trachtenberg is a really underrated director that has multiple hits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he did 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so
love that movie.
Yeah.
And that's like the one Cloverfield movie outside, like there's 4 Cloverfield movies.
Yeah.
And outside of the original that was like a whole like Blair Witch thing.
It's got like its own movie.
Yeah.
And they were just like, yeah, it's Cloverfield.
Also, Cloverfield was here. Yeah, exactly.
But like it works. It's a
so
phenomenal
good.
movie.
Yeah.
And I think he has proven himself time and time again that he's great. So it's like there's a lot to get there. He's putting
it's
out
just
great
hard, I
movies
think,
and-
too, when you're looking at a film like this, where it's like, this is a little bit more sci-fi and a little bit more out there than like even the rest of the Predator franchise.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
maybe for a general audience perspective, you've gone from like 80s action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers, right?
Yeah.
To sci-fi on a different planet film with robots and like there's not a human inside. That is maybe a little less accessible than the original Predator.
Yeah.
But I also think the genre for that sci-fi, like the audience has grown. You know, people like myself who went around when the original Predator came out have grown up loving this sort of film where it's like the sci-fi, you know, you've got all these ships and things happening that are a little more out there that we're getting to see. So
it's cool seeing the different, because I can't remember with number 1. Is it set on Earth?
I think so. Is it not? It's in the jungle. It's just like in the
jungle,
rainforest or something.
Well, I know the Predators one that was like I said, mid 2000s, Danny Trejo, Adrian Brody. It is set on another planet, and I'm pretty sure they're prisoners or criminals or something. And from memory, I don't know if they actually are criminals.
I hope we get somebody correcting us.
Yeah, someone's going to be like, that's not that.
That's not all the Predator fans.
And they get sent to the planet for like essentially punishment.
Yeah.
Where the predators are that are hunting.
Right.
And it's like a hunting grounds,
yeah.
essentially. Yeah. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't know what its ratings are and what people think of it, but from my memory, I quite enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, okay.
It does make me want to go back and watch the Shane Black one again because I remember seeing it and being like, whereas I'm like kind of keen to see it again now. You've got a lot of homework to do because you need to see all of them.
Yep. I know, I've got plenty of homework to do. Thing is, while we're talking, I mean, I'm going to wrap it up here with Predator because we've got a couple of other things I want to talk about. But ultimately, Predator Badlands was Predator Badass. It was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. I would go as far as saying of the Predator franchise that I've seen, this one is my favorite.
Yeah, okay.
And again, spectacle, it's all that sort of thing. You know, it was just done so well. and
Yeah,
it's
I
such an easy watch.
I really loved it. I loved the fact that we got more world building
Yeah.
around the Predator side of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that sort of sci-fi nature that you were talking about is the world building. Like
Yeah.
you're seeing more of the clan and
Yeah.
what goes on there and how they work, which I think I'd like to see even more of. too.
100%.
I think it was great.
All right, so on to that. Next week, we have multiple movies coming out. I want to point out a couple of movies that came out last week that I didn't get a chance to see. I'm very sad about it. But Good Fortune. Aziz Ansari, Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, everything I'm hearing about it is phenomenal. I am going to try and get in and watch it at some point this week. But it looks super fun. What is it? Keanu Reeves plays an angel, and his like job is to like tap people on the shoulder when they're texting and driving and about to crash.
Yeah.
But then he takes on a bigger role with Aziz Ansari and goes and does something and swaps Aziz and Seth Rogen's lives around, and then sort of gets involved, and then he's being told off
I
because
think it's like in the trailer, it's something like I've swapped them because Aziz Ansari is like the poor character.
Yeah,
Rogen's
yeah,
the rich,
yeah,
And he's like, I've swapped them to show him that money won't fix all of his problems. And then I'm pretty sure it flashes to Aziz Ansari like,
Woo!
money has solved all of my problems. And it like goes horribly bad because
yeah, of course.
it didn't work how he wanted it to.
It looks hilarious, and yeah, definitely worth checking out. I can't wait to see it. The reviews have been phenomenal. And who doesn't love Keanu, love Aziz, love Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
That'll do it. Additionally, next week, 2 films I very much want to see coming out at once again. Running Man is out. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is out.
Oh, I didn't realize Now You See Me.
Yeah, same day. I know.
Yeah. I mean, Running Man's still my top.
Running Man's one of my most anticipated films for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Anytime Edgar Wright is bringing a film out, I'm there.
Yes.
One of my favorite filmmakers. So I'm just all on board.
Yeah. And Glenn Powell's awesome. Michael Cera's awesome. You know, it's got a good cast. Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo, who is confirmed to be voicing the Cowardly Lion in Wicked Part 2, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, The Running Man is out next week.
Brolin's in it as well, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Stacked cast.
So
yet again.
another stacked cast, and Edgar Wright directing. It's like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World's my #1 film of all time.
Yep. Hot Fuzz is mine. So
there we go. Edgar Wright.
The man.
Yeah, he's the man on this podcast. So yeah, we've got The Running Man out next week, and Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Now, I loved the first 2 Now You See Me films. Can't wait to watch this one. We might have to try and watch both. If we can make it happen, we can make it happen, and you guys will get 2 episodes, or 1 really long episode. But then after that, you know, I think that week we have also Hamilton's returning to the big screen. Hamilton is returning to the big screen. Have you seen Hamilton?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, have you not?
I haven't seen
Oh
Hamilton.
my God, we're gonna have to do a Hamilton episode because Hamilton rules. I've seen it twice on stage and I've watched it a bunch of times on.
Is it a movie or is it a...
It's a Broadway pro show.
Okay, yeah.
So they shot this in. Actually, this is interesting because we were just discussing shot for cinema films that were released on Disney Plus. They shot this on Broadway with the original Broadway cast and pro shot. It looks gorgeous. The whole thing's super engaging because they shot it like right up in people's faces and all that. It's not like a still. They got right into it, but they shot it for cinema.
Yeah.
COVID hits. Disney's like, we need content. They buy it, or they shot it originally. I can't remember, but goes on Disney Plus. Pumps Disney Plus, goes so hard.
Yeah.
It's like still to this day the 2nd or 3rd highest watched thing on Disney Plus, only second to like Moana.
Yeah, wow.
So it's massive. It's finally getting a cinema release. It's the first time since it was released in 2021, finally getting to release it in cinemas. And I know that there's like a lot of excitement about it. It's an awesome story. I remember wanting to see it like 2018, 2019, prior to anything. And just listening to the soundtrack, which I don't really do, but I had heard that this sort of like, there's no stopping points. So you can listen to the soundtrack and it's the story all the way through. There's no like dialogue in between where you miss out on stuff. So listen to that. And then I just listened to it again and then again and then again and got super into it because the story's so damn engaging. But honestly, the whole thing is done so well and the Disney Plus version rules. So seeing that on the big screen is going to be incredible.
I might have to.
I think you got to do it. You got a couple of musicals to watch.
Yeah, I do.
And you know, that's the Wicked re-release. So you're gonna have to come in here and go like, Wicked.
This is going to be a week of
This, yeah, well, I mean, Wicked re-release, Hamilton. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and The Running Man. So you live here now.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll just set up a bed.
yeah, we're gonna have to set up in here, and it's gonna be, and you know, Hamilton's only like 3 hours long. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's right. And so is Wicked.
It's just going to be a day.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
full marathon.
block out a day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so look, that's it. We've got a lot of stuff coming out next week. We will get at least one episode, but hopefully we can get in and see both films because you know, how can we not? I want to see both.
Two very exciting films.
Yeah, exactly.
One that's finally titled the way it should be.
Exactly. And the other one that has Edgar Wright directing. So that's yeah. So we'll come through, we'll do another couple of movies next week. And yeah. If you are enjoying the podcast, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, subscribe, all of the things. You can view us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Spotify, and yeah, make sure you're checking it out. If you've got any suggestions or thoughts on what we should be doing, should we be talking more trailers, should we be discussing, you know, going off on less tangents, that's also something that you could suggest. We can't guarantee that we'll take that advice, but
sorry.
Absolutely. But until next time, remember, there are no bad seats when you come to the movies.